Hello and welcome to the Touchline podcast. This is our Euro 2020 group stage review. We're going to start off with Group A, and Vishwa, you wanted to talk about that.
Okay. So obviously in Group A, we have Italy, Wales, Switzerland, and Turkey. Obviously, Italy did come first, and as I was like watching the games, I was thinking that these the Italians could be potential winners here. Um, I think each and every game they were class from the start to the end. I think one disappointment was Turkey. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
it.
On the point of Italy, I think they've been fantastic. I think they can really win the competition. You know, the way they pass the ball, quick, intense play, good football, but also solid at the back, not conceding any goals, scoring lots of goals as well. So I think they could be real. Overlooking the later rounds now, I think they can be really good.
I think tactically they're pretty perfect. Like the way that they
Yeah.
play is they're quite unpredictable because they play a 3-3-4-3, but on paper that is a 3-4-3. But the right fullback goes all the way up, and then the left fullback kind of pushes in. So they're quite hard to predict and like track because all the players interchange, it's quite fluid, and that's what they kind of lacked before. They kind of lacked they were just sat back and low block, but instead now they mixed that with like intense pressing and passing. Yeah, they look quite good.
And even in the third game, they played the second string team, and yet they still look good. Like they didn't really miss any of their first team plays, and they still managed to do good performance against Wales.
They one thing that I do think they'll miss is a big loss. Chiellini, he's a big loss. Like Italy have been overall they've looked pretty perfect, but like I think without Chiellini they'll be less solid as well, as well as these good defensively leadership. They might like that as well. So it might be a big loss.
Well, they'll still be there in the dressing room and on the bench and all that to support. So they won't lose all that leadership and stuff.
Also, one thing that I've seen, a lot of teams have like sat back and like defended the whole game. And well, one thing they're a big threat from is long shots. They score quite a few long shots. What's it called? I think like nearly half their goals have been outside the box.
wow.
They're good, obviously, from outside the box as well. So in a game where they might struggling to break down the block, they look like a threat.
Yeah, Wales finished second. Yeah,
Wales.
That's quite a surprise actually for me.
I mean, it wasn't as good as the Euro 2016, but they are still in it. They had the heart.
No. I'd say that they're actually better than they were in Euro 2016. But they're like when during Euro 16 they just sat back, but now they just went long. But this time they're like keeping the ball more. They're scoring with Bale's creativity from the right mixed with Dan James' raw pace. They can go through other, and they have runners into the box through Ramsey. You saw that goal. Bale pinged it over. Ramsey scored. You should see that they can score more than one type of goal. They have instead of just pinging it long. They have different avenues of scoring.
I think Wales have a better squad as well. I think in this in Euro 2020 than in 2016.
100%. They do like depth. They do like depth, but
yeah.
Team that came third, Switzerland. Team that they're kind of a weird team. You did expect them to go through, but also if you look at, I think Wales have been better.
I think they have been unlucky though, because the only game which they really lost to was Italy, who most teams would lose to, and they did beat Turkey quite convincingly as well, and they drew with Wales as well.
Yeah, they're not bad, and they still make it through to the round of 16. So overall, I think they've been quite solid, and they probably won't go further. But I think they did what they expected to do, which was get through the group, I would say.
And finally, Turkey. They were pretty terrible. Scored one goal. All time lost all three. They
didn't get a single point as well.
Dark horses. Yeah. I think it's not I don't know what the problem was because they have a decent manager that got them to third in the 2002 World Cup. It's not that like they have a decent squad. I think one thing that they did lack is supplying Yilmaz. They play like a a four-man midfield. So they didn't really, there wasn't really any support. They played like quite, so they couldn't really support the striker. So yeah.
They had creative play such as Calhanoglu and Tufan as well. So people were expecting them to be delivering the balls.
That's the thing, though. They weren't close enough to the striker. They were. The striker was isolated.
At the end, the best players didn't show up. That's
but also,
all you can say.
I think they were so negative in their style of football. So with the quality of players they've got, they were so negative, which is why they create anything. And I think that was a downfall, really. You know, when they're playing Wales and Switzerland, they should be attacking. In theory, they have the better players and a better squad. So I think that was the problem, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, Group A done. Group B now. Belgium. I mean, you did expect them to top the group.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Especially they were expected to top the group.
I think this group was pretty open. Like the two teams that qualified, Belgium and Denmark, you expected them to qualify.
Yeah. Belgium, each and every game they're in control as well. Dictated every single. From the passes to the.
They struggled in the Denmark game because Denmark were winning 1-0, so they had to bring on the Bournemouth.
I wouldn't say struggled though, because they did dominate the whole game and they did win comfortably in the end. As in, not the score wasn't comfortable, but they won. They were dominant.
Yeah,
the score doesn't reflect how they played during the game. Yeah, I think they've got the perfect the perfect formation with the three at the back as well. They play quite attacking, but then they have that solid foundation at the back, so they don't concede many goals. So I think they've been quite good.
I mean, I've said it from the start. I think they have a good chance of going far and even going for the title. But I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll wait and see.
Right, Denmark. So the other three teams in the group, they all finished 3 points. Denmark made it from goal difference, but you do expect them to go through.
But I think, given obviously what happened in that first game against Finland,
they were
did quite well
to
sort of bounce back and finish second in the group. So I think
Denmark did well considering the circumstances.
Yeah.
We need to respect and give credit.
And even with Belgium, they put up a good fight against them.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they have quite a few stand-up players now. Even without Eriksson, they still have Poulsen, Højbjerg, Delaney, Daniel Vass, Mele, Vestergaard, Christensen, Schmeichel. These are all top European players. I think that they're good players and they've done well. So yeah. Just move on to Group C.
Yeah, might as well.
Right, the next group, Group C. Netherlands top the group, 9 points.
They were always going to win it.
Yes, Belgium, they were expected of the group. However, that Ukraine game was very close. Like, it could have gone either way.
I thought that they were allowed to play free-flowing football and change up the formation, their players, and give each player a go experience each and every game, because obviously you got North Macedonia, Ukraine, Austria, and you can. They did well and they topped the group.
I'm personally a bit surprised actually that Netherlands did as well in this group as they have, given Frank de Boer as manager and all that. I honestly thought they could flop.
Austria, Ukraine, North Macedonia, they were always.
I think Austria would decent.
I know.
Team.
Austria,
they're not bad.
They're not good though. They're not amazing. They've not done well internationally. On paper, they have good players, but overall, then they don't really perform international performance. They have a few good players, but they usually struggle as well. They were playing a 3-4-1-2, and that led them exposed at the back. They just didn't. But like Hesham said, going back to that Ukraine game, I think one big thing that helped them is the return of De Ligt.
Yeah.
Really helped. Like that Ukraine game, there's 2 goals that they conceded. They didn't concede a goal after that when De Ligt came back. So I think he was a massive plus, and that helped them qualify. Yeah, there was Ukraine. I thought Ukraine was second actually, because after that first game, they were very unlucky to when you get out that game with a loss. They could have easily got a draw, but they finished third, and then North Macedonia finished last. You didn't really expect them to.
North Macedonia
was
there to avoid themselves. They didn't really have any.
Actually, they did put up a decent fight, I think, in some of their games, actually.
I mean, they were lucky. They were unlucky against Ukraine and Austria.
So yeah, Group C, England topped it. It wasn't as comfortable as we only scored 2 goals.
2 goals scored is pretty woeful.
They did.
Look at it on the plus defensively, solid. I think one thing that is that pivot of Phillips and Declan Rice. People thought they were just going to be overly defensive, but Phillips has been very good. He's been allowed to, like, at some point he's been going past Kane. Like, he's been very attacking, sometimes too attacking, I think. Like in that Croatia game, I think he was the perfect mix because he was like, controlling that midfield area, got the assist as well. I think it was too good. But then after that, he was going too far forward. He's not the greatest, most technical player. He's a decent player.
I doubt in the next round that Calvin Phillips will have the same impact as he have in the group stages.
You can't say that because no one expected. Everyone's writing. He's been very good so far.
I mean, the quality of midfield that he's facing will be higher because he's going to be facing Kroos and Gundogan.
Yeah, but like, look at
Croatia's midfield.
Yeah, what are you on about? Kovacic, Brozovic, Modric. What was that midfield? World class. We faced them, and Phillips was amazing in that midfield. So I think he will perform against those players. He's done it before, so yeah, you never know.
I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Now, what I would say is I'm pretty disappointed with Declan Rice.
He's been ineffective in possession.
When he gets the ball, we can't take it on the half turn and play the forward pass. He's sideways and backwards. And when there's an opportunity to play a forward pass and pass it forward, he doesn't take it. So I just don't think he's been good. I think he's really decreasing his transfer value.
I think
another player that I've been disappointed with, Kane. I know, like him. 2 things. It's either like I think it's a mix of Gareth Southgate's tactical instructions and also him. Like he was in the last group game, he was dropping in between the centre. Like what was that about? And one thing why I think he's being less effective is he doesn't have runners off. We're all just kind of like flat. There's no runs in behind the ball, and when Sterling does make runs in behind the ball, he often loses the ball. So I think that's why Kane's struggled to have an impact.
I think with Kane, if you don't give him the chances, he's not going to score. And I think.
But that's what he's been so good at Tottenham for, been creating his own chances. But I do.
He's at a better team in England than at Tottenham as well, so he should be scoring more, especially now that he's around better players.
No. But there's a big problem there as well. Like he's not getting many chances created.
He's not getting chances, and often when you see with strikers, when they're not getting chances, they start dropping deep to get the ball and do something themselves. That's probably why he's been. Yeah,
he's dropping way too deep.
Also quite evident.
Like usually, the thing at Tottenham is under Mourinho, he had Son, and that combination really worked because he had a runner off the ball, Son.
Yeah, and also
Sterling doesn't make enough, and Foden as wingers. They don't make enough like those kind of direct runs as Son does. I think that's also a reason why he's been struggling.
On paper, Grealish and Kane combination of the work. Grealish should have done the same role of Son.
He doesn't have pace.
No, he's not.
He doesn't have pace. He's
not
back
Sterling to make those runs, not Grealish.
I mean, I don't want to say this, but like, I feel like Saka's been performing. I think he's been. I mean, as a Chelsea fan, I shouldn't say this.
He played one game.
He played one game against Czech
he's
Republic, and
he's getting his minutes.
He played well
His
for
performance
45
was
minutes.
so overhyped, man. That performance was so overhyped.
He's got some traits.
He did an integral role in the goal, though.
Yeah, okay, but
Okay, yeah, but
to be fair, he hardly
he was good, but I doubt
Some
he'll
of
play.
his-
The only reason he dropped Foden for that game is because Foden was on a yellow card. It's like Foden will definitely play against the next game. So
see Saka again unless there's an injury with Villa losing.
and going back to before, I think there's 2 players on the bench. I know Rashford isn't fully fit, but I think Rashford and Sancho could make those runs in behind that
yeah,
Kane needs the runners for. But they're not starting. He prefers Sterling, who doesn't really make those runs.
I really
So-
don't know why Southgate isn't putting Sancho in the team. Like, he's only had 1 substitute appearance. He's even picked Saka over him, which I really don't get.
In the first game, Sancho wasn't even on the bench. So doing
yeah.
Yeah.
He's been world class for Dortmund in the second half of the season. I don't think Southgate's watched the Bundesliga really. He clearly hasn't.
Sancho ended the season in amazing, much better form
Yeah.
than Sterling. But why are you starting players like Foden? Foden didn't even end the season in that much better form. If he says he picks players on merit, well, obviously he doesn't, because then why are Foden and Sterling starting? I know Sterling scored twice, but I still think that Sancho should be starting.
Yeah, did you hear what Southgate said about these young players not being ready, or just needing a bit of time? Expectations are low. I just thought that was
ready though.
Yeah, he is. He's played European football, Champions League football. He's playing at the highest level. This doesn't make sense, really.
And then second place, Croatia. I think it was extremely close. It went down to the wire between them and Czech Republic.
I think Croatia kind of disappointed me, especially after the
World Cup.
especially after the World Cup. Yeah.
To be fair, they finished second, and everyone expected them to finish second.
But I think drawing to Czech Republic, and they didn't play that well against England. Against Scotland, it was fairly close. So you have to say, I don't think they've been that good, Croatia.
Yeah.
I think it'll be quite.
In progressing much further in the competition, but they have performed their expectations so far by finishing second.
Against Scotland, though, I've seen players that didn't really perform that are starting to perform now. Like Modric and Vlasic, they weren't really performing, but now Modric goal and assist. I think maybe that goal could end them, but you just never know with Croatia. I think they have Spain next, so Spain haven't been great, so you never know.
What I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Then Czech Republic. I think Schick was very good this tournament. He had a good tournament.
For a while, it looked like they were going to top the group as well until the England game.
Nah, I think that is actually true, to be fair.
Right. The Czech Republic, they've been very good. They've actually been very good. Obviously, draw against Croatia was quite impressive as well. I just think they've got the Netherlands in their next game in the round of 16. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see an upset.
Exactly.
Not really upset though, because they performed one against Croatia, and Croatia have similar plays to the Netherlands.
And then finally Scotland finished last.
Same old.
I think we do expect them. I mean, they barely qualified.
I mean, it's been a tournament since Euro '96, so I think they were happy to just be there.
Yeah.
And the fact that the only point in the whole tournament was against England as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
They'll celebrate
Gilmore's
that for another 20 years, won't they?
Gilmore was sick against England though. But he didn't get to play against Croatia, and that's like one of the biggest games for them.
I mean, he would have played. He would have played.
Yeah.
100%.
This whole COVID isolation thing as well with Mount.
No. It's stupid because the Scotland squad is fine. So, but because of English guidelines, they can't. Well, they've tested negative. Why do they still have to survive?
Yeah, and you're telling me all these Scottish players haven't been in close contact with Gilmore. in the dressing room or in hotel rooms or
even the manager, like even the
yeah. Did you see the picture of the
See the
manager?
manager,
Like,
head, what is going on? The rules are stupid, man. I think Chilwell wasn't exactly going to play, but I think Mount might be a loss. He's created the most chances for England. I think it might be a loss.
I mean, Mount will be a crucial role for the knockout stages if he does make it.
I think he'll make it back for the round of 16 game. I think his isolation finishes by then.
Right, next group, Group E. Sweden topped it. Bit of a shock online.
Bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
And
I felt that Spain were going to get second, though, especially after the.
They just held possession the whole time. Just hold possession. Spain, no attacking play. Just hold. They weren't good.
I mean, the one thing with Sweden is that they do fight back. Like in the Poland game, they were 2-0, and then it went to 2-2, and then they kept fighting, and then they scored in the last minute to win.
Yeah, they're quite organised as well.
But they were very lucky though. They were very lucky. The Lewandowski chance really could have scored.
Yeah.
I mean,
9
Sweden,
times out of 10 he buries it.
Yeah, they've got Ukraine as well in the round of 16. Sweden.
Yeah, easy.
I could see them. I mean, the winner of that game also plays Germany or England, I think. But
I think Sweden aren't usually the most remarkable team, but like even the last World Cup, they made it to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, they get results. They do. They get
well.
results.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they go under the radar a little bit. Sweden
grind out results. Yeah, they have quite an underrated squad with players like Forsberg, Isak. They're a decent team. So yeah, and then Spain.
I mean, Spain for the first 2 games they underperformed, especially against Poland. Had so many chances. Gerard Moreno missed the penalty. However, they did make it up when they beat Slovakia.
Yeah, they were quite clinical against Slovakia actually.
But they need to step up they need to step up later games, especially the round of 16 when you're facing they need to step up.
The games that they should be winning, the games against Sweden on paper, you expect them to beat them, and Poland as well. They should have beaten them, and they were just poor.
Yeah.
And then Poland lost. I thought Poland was going to finish above Slovakia. They just didn't.
I mean, Poland basically they are a one-man team. Basically, they're relying on Lewandowski.
But they just looked underwhelming. I mean, they do have players like Flick, Zielinski.
To be fair,
yeah, as in,
but they're making Lewandowski. Without him, I wouldn't even see them qualifying without him.
Okay. And then Group F. The best group, in my opinion. What a final!
What a
final round of
game at the end.
Right, so let's start overall France top tier. I think it should have been way more comfortable for them.
Yeah,
they got results. Yeah, but then against Hungary they drew, and it was quite close that year.
I don't think they're going to be the force that people think they're going to be. That force that's difficult to beat. I think, they've showed a few cracks in their armour, I think. France, when you look at the draw against Portugal and Hungary, and they only won it against Germany as well. It's not been that comfortable for them.
Doing a freakish own goal. They weren't actually that good that game.
No.
Yeah. And then Germany second. I think people expected Portugal, but one thing I will say about Portugal is in Euro 2016, they had a terrible group stage, and then they won the whole thing. So you never know with Portugal.
I don't think in Euro 2016 Portugal won a single game within the 90 minutes. Like all the games
they did. Yeah, so it just shows that they know they're a smart team. They're a smart team.
Yeah.
And I think Hungary were unlucky. I think they could have finished third.
I
Definitely.
They
think
were actually
they definitely would have qualified.
they held their own in quite a difficult group.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they could have won that Germany game. Yeah.
Well, Germany at times they look vulnerable, and then at times going forward they look dangerous. And you can't really tell.
The problem with Germany is just like Lowe's a bit. He's not the greatest. As in tactics, he just plays the best players, and also like he's quite indecisive. Like he said Muller and Hummels were done with the Germany national team, and then he calls them up for Euro 2020. That wasn't really. He's quite indecisive. He just makes decisions on a whim. Also, they've had I know they had a massive fallback problem, and I know Gosens and Kimmich have been good, but like they do lack quite depth. Like they have a good first team, and they lack that. They also don't have like an out and out 9. They had to play Muller, who's more of like a second striker. Yeah. It also doesn't help that they lost their warm up game to Macedonia. So yeah.
The strengths of Germany is that they do have a combination of youth and experience. So that, like, the experience can guide the youth whilst they dominate the games.
I think Germany have been on like a decline because they used to like be like a major force, but now they look like a shadow. I think
they're better than what they were in 2018, though, with the players that are breaking through.
Yeah. They weren't ready during that World Cup in 2018. They just weren't ready. They've improved 100%. And then for Hungary, I think their first game they lost 3-0. They were quite unlucky. Like they held out quite well. And then they just conceded 3 late. Their heads dropped after conceding 1. And then the other 2 games were against France and Germany. They did very well. Yeah, 2 teams they expected to get beaten by.
As you said, that they were quite unlucky, and as I said before, like if they were in any other group, if they performed like how they were, they probably would have qualified. It's just the draw how it was.
It definitely helped they had
that,
a full crowd.
Okay, what was in there? In the group stage?
Team in the group stage, yeah.
Right.
You've got 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're fine. All right, now we're going to go to our team in the group stage. In goal, who you look got?
I put Danny Ward from Wales.
He was good.
He
was good. I think Bellacci as well. Bellacci was quite good.
Yeah, Donnarumma.
Donnarumma, Hradecky was all right
Kept
as well.
3 clean sheets.
So yeah, there's a few contenders. Left back, who you got? Left back.
Gosens,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good against Portugal, but also had some other good performances as well. So yeah, he's been solid at left back.
Right, centre back. So you've got.
Bonucci was one of them.
Bonucci. I think De Ligt.
Yeah.
De Ligt, one of them. There's a few that you could put. Right back. Either Kimmich or Dumfries for me.
Yeah, I've put Dumfries. He's already scored 2 goals in the tournament.
Yeah, and he's a couple of assists, I think, as well. I think overall he's been pretty good. But then also Kimmich has been a threat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Midfield.
Locatelli was one of my choices.
Locatelli.
Yeah, Wijnaldum seems to be a different player.
Yeah.
When playing for Netherlands.
A good choice as well.
Kevin.
Pogba's a weird one because he's always like with United. Like I think for United he could easily perform like this if they got like a proper CDM. But like because he's got talent and he's good enough. But like I think with him pairing him with Kante, he has freedom going forward. So yeah, he's definitely shown his
like
quality.
we don't even have proper CDMs, and in
Yeah.
France you have Kante, so he just
Arrogant with
free.
France have never lost a game when Pogba and Kante have both started together. So it just shows how good they are together as a duo. Yeah, right, front three. Up front, you've got I don't know. There's a few because strikers you could put. I think I'd put Lukaku and then play Ronaldo on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kai Havertz is a good shout as well.
Yeah, Havertz has been good. He's playing more like, I don't know, a false nine. He's been very good. Scoring 2 goals. Yeah, good for him as well.
Yarmolenko has been quite good as well, actually, for Ukraine.
You're right.
So he could also be a shout in that attacking role.
Also, Sterling, like he scored. His overall game has been amazing. He's got 2 vital goals for England.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.